What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fire Sports Takes podcast. Hot Take Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. And we're kind of winging it a little bit on today's episode, which usually isn't my style. Usually I'm pretty prepared, pretty concise, pretty ready to go. But I had a phone call for about 2 hours, scrolled on TikTok for another hour and a half. And I don't know if you guys are in the Barstool sports space, but Rico Bosco is a very entertaining character. So easy to get sucked in to just 40 minutes of Rico Bosco clips. That's how I spent the last hour of my life. Not exactly ideal. We definitely want to be more productive. I got clips in the inventory that need editing. But either way, what a night. I had my first green night gambling in a very long time. Shout out the Detroit Pistons. And I have a Cade Cunningham take. And I was thinking about this. Outside of Shea and Luca, Cade Cunningham has to be the third best point guard in the NBA. He is unbelievable. The Pistons, I believe they're first in the Eastern Conference right now. He's one of the most clutch players in basketball. He's led that team all season. He's been incredible. Every time I watch the Pistons, I find myself watching the Pistons a lot. And you just look at their roster. They're just a damn good basketball team. I think they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think it's them or the Knicks. I'm taking Cade over Jalen Brunson because Cade is just as good a scorer. Maybe you can argue Brunson, but Cade gets the other guys involved more. I'm taking Duran over Mitchell Robinson. And yeah, I mean, that's it. The two best players are better than the two best players on the Knicks. It's debatable. It's obviously debatable. And I haven't watched too much Knicks basketball. I'm pretty sure they rattled off a few wins once Josh Hart got back in the lineup. But before that, they were skidding. And it's Mikal Bridges or Amen Thompson or Asar Thompson. I guess Mikhail's a better scorer. I mean, in totality, like the depth of the Knicks is probably better, but I think Cade is better. Like the Pistons' two best players are better than the Knicks' two best players. Jaden Ivey, dog. I haven't watched enough to really speak on it. I'm just a New York Knicks hater, to be completely honest. Either way, if it's still football season, we got plenty of basketball to get into. But I watched the Pistons today. Very impressive W against the Boston Celtics team. What are they in the Eastern Conference right now? Because I swear, every time I watch them, they're playing some winning basketball. Derek White was ridiculous. He's so nasty. The Celtics in general are so disgusting, even without Jason Tatum, who I think he's the most overrated player in the NBA. I think Boston is 15-11. They're 6 games back of the Pistons, who are first in the Eastern Conference. Not that much of a fall off without Tatum. Pretty interesting stuff here. I think once they do get Tatum back, they're in a good spot. Anthony Simons is a good player, and they did the Celtics exchanged Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, and you're not getting the defensive prowess, you could say, that you got out of Drew Holiday with Anthony Simons, but he definitely picks up the scoring. He's definitely like his transitive property. I can't speak. Water. You're not losing much from a scoring aspect and going from Drew Holiday to Anthony Simons, but very different players. Obviously, Anthony Simons is off ball, and Drew Holiday had the ball in his hands a lot more, and Drew Holiday's a way better defender. But I still think that that's a good deal. He's been a good acquisition, and you throw Jason Tatum now, who obviously ridiculously overrated, on this team with Derek White, Anthony Simons, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and then I don't even know who their big is right now. I don't even know. It's that white dude that's not Peyton Pritchard. Cornette is their big. Robert Williams, no way he's still on the team, right? Let me see. Let me pull up their stats real quick. Maurice Keita. Okay, yeah, so they don't have a big. They don't have a big at the end of the day. Maybe I haven't watched enough Celtics basketball and this guy's actually the truth, but they are very deep. Jaylen Brown averaging 29. That's basically what Tatum is averaging, and Jaylen Brown's just getting opportunities to put more shots up, and he's going to score as much as Tatum does. It's just Tatum's a ball hog until the fourth quarter comes around, and he goes and hides in a corner. And I had a legitimate thought today. I had a couple of thoughts. Great day to be a Drake Maye hater. Everybody, Drake Maye can do no wrong. We convinced ourselves that this guy was a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. We convinced ourselves that this guy was the best player in his draft. He's not even better than Jaden Daniels. And quite frankly, I won't even entertain that argument anymore. But game on the line, you need a 2-minute drill to win the game. Would you rather have the ball in Drake Maye's hands or in Bo Nix's hands? And if you say Drake Maye, you're either a Patriots fan, you're a Drake Maye Drake May Glazer in the draft process a few years ago, or you're a Bo Nix hater. But I don't know how on earth, if you watch the games this season and you saw what Drake May did with 2 opportunities in the fourth quarter to go and be the MVP of the league, didn't even get a first down, where Bo Nix time and time again has made the big play, has made the big throw, the throw to Cortland Sutton against the Chiefs, the comeback against the Giants, just time after time after time. You need a big play from Bo Nix. He delivers. You can't say that about Drake May, because the first time this season that they actually had game pressure applied on them, Drake May was nowhere to be seen, 35 yards in the second half. Bo Nix, on the other hand, in the biggest matchup of the season, in the midst of an 11-game win streak, throws for 4 touchdowns, has the best game of his career against Jordan Love and the Packers. So, game on the line, would you rather have Bo Nix leading your team down the field or Drake May? Objectively, this season, it's been Bo Nix. I understand Drake May, the eye test is better. He's not as sporadic. He's been more consistent, although against the Jets, Giants, Bengals, Browns, and Titans. And Drake and Bo Nix has played a pretty good group of teams, even though he hasn't beaten the bad teams by significant margins. He has been way more clutch than Drake May was. You can rely on Bo Nix in the fourth quarter way more than you can Drake May. And that's just a reality that Drake May, Dick Riders are going to have to face. And it's a tough one, but it's the world we live in. It is legitimately the world we live in. Am I a sour Jets fan? Absolutely, absolutely. And Drake May is going to have every opportunity now to prove me wrong, but I'm getting Jason Tatum vibes out of Mr. Drake May. Drake May shrinks in the fourth quarter. Drake May is afraid of making the big throw. He's afraid of the big moment. He's afraid of the ball in his hands with the game on the line until proven otherwise. And that was evident on Sunday. So those are just a few thoughts that I had. Before we say Drake May is the best quarterback in his class, let's not disrespect Jaden Daniels, who made the best throw of the season, arguably, the 55-yard bomb to Luke McCaffrey against the Chargers, which, by the way, when Jaden Daniels was fully healthy, that Commanders team beat the crap out of the Chargers, who are currently, if I'm not mistaken, the 5th seed in the AFC playoffs right now. Them are the Bills. So let's have a little bit of respect for Jaden Daniels for what he did last year and not be so quick to throw Drake May ahead of him because he has a good record when he's played absolutely nobody. And the first time we saw real game pressure on Drake May, besides probably the Raiders game and the Dolphins game in week 2, I'm pretty sure he had some game pressure on him. I don't remember that game in totality, to be frank, but my voice I feel like my voice sounds different today. Every time I swallow, it feels like there is just a real burning sensation. Not ideal. Should probably get it checked out, but I won't. Either way, Drake May fucking stinks. He stunk in the second half. They need 2 opportunities. Last time I'll say it. 2 opportunities in the second half, in the fourth quarter, down 4, to go and put a drive together to take the lead against Josh Allen with the division on the line, and he didn't even get a first down. That's your MVP? I don't think so. And I talked about it on yesterday's episode, how I feel about the MVP race. I have a future on Matthew Stafford that I placed back in February, $6 to win 200. And I'm not pushing that narrative. Josh Allen's the most valuable player in football. Patrick Mahomes is still the best QB in the league. I'm sorry. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get the Josh Allen's the best QB in the league. And it was like that with Brady too. Like Brady, he wouldn't necessarily have down years, but he wouldn't have elite years. And then you'd hear, oh, Aaron Rodgers is the best QB in the league right now. Oh, Drew Brees is the best QB in the league right now. Peyton Manning, obviously, he's the best QB in the league right now. And that's fair. Like, they might be having better seasons than Tom Brady did, but Tom Brady was always QB1. And that's similar here with Patrick Mahomes. As long as he's healthy, he is QB1, although he might not be having the best statistical season. If you did a draft for one season, every single player is available, Patrick Mahomes would be the 101. That's just the reality of the situation. If you think otherwise, you're lying to yourself. If you think otherwise, you're lying to yourself. And you can hate on Mahomes, you can hate on the Chiefs all you want. They're good for the league. Like, having a villain is good for the league. So, yeah, no really other NBA talk today. Tomorrow I will do a full in-depth college football playoff episode where I'll give you my predictions. I'll give you my preview of this weekend, and we'll really get down to the brass tacks with some good, like, I'll really take a deep dive into every single one of these teams, and I'll give you some real predictions. And I haven't been that bad with college football this year, but I obviously haven't been fantastic. I think I was high on A&M early. Like after the Notre Dame game, I was very sold on A&M, where a lot of people were still skeptical. And now that we're here in the playoffs, I think just the way my season has gone, and I'm gonna stick to my guns, I'm gonna stick to my brain, I'm gonna stick to my logic. But I've just been wrong a lot. My logic has been wrong a lot. Can't switch up now. That defeats the purpose. And I've been high on A&M all season. I've been fading Miami all season, saying that not even all season, but they had no. I still think they had no business being in the playoffs. Having two losses in a conference that has 7-5 team as the conference champion. But if my sports fandom is indicative of anything, it's that Miami's going to blow out A&M by 4 touchdowns. I don't think that's the case. I'll have to really take a deep dive into this matchup, see how good Miami's offensive line is. I know their defensive line is pretty solid, and if they can get after Marcel Reed, throw off the timing, stop the run game, I think that could be trouble for A&M in this offense. I also got to see how Miami's corners are, because Craver, Conception, Bethel Roman are a real problem for any defense in this country. So we'll see. They did lose to SMU, did they not? And Kevin Jennings is a very mobile quarterback, similar archetype to Marcel Reed. So just off the top of my head, I'm very excited for that game. And I'll say this here. Hold on. Everybody likes to rip on the college football playoff format. Oh, the committee messed up everything, blah, 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 blah. As long as you have subjective criteria for teams that are going to be in the college football playoff, everybody's going to have something to say. But can we not appreciate the college football that we're about to see here? Can we not appreciate it? Even in the first round, oh, you got the G5 teams, G4 teams, whatever. I mean, A&M, Miami, Bama, Oklahoma. Those are two tremendous games. And looking ahead into the second round matchups, Orange Bowl, Tech, Oregon, Indiana, probably Oklahoma. Two elite defenses going head to head. That game's going to be awesome. Georgia, Ole Miss is going to be fireworks. That game was electric in the regular season. We get a rematch. Ohio State, and whether it's A&M or Miami, I think it'll be A&M. That's going to be awesome too. So the college football playoff is electric because we're going to get so many better games. I think this season will be better than last season because I think there's a little bit more volatility in some of these teams where it's not just going to be Ohio State running through everybody, and we're not going to get 8 blowouts in the first round because I have a hard time seeing Miami and A&M being a blowout. I think Oklahoma can really give it to Bama. But Miami and Texas A&M is the one game that I'm very excited for. So we can cry about the college football playoff all we want. The teams are set. The matchups are set. It's going to be electric. So you can complain all you want. I'm gonna take it in. I'm done complaining. No more complaining. Miami didn't deserve to be in, but no more complaining. It's going to be very fun, and I will dive in. I guess we can start the Hot Take Tuesday segment. I don't think we're gonna get to 20 minutes today. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do some filibuster at the end and just talk shit. But I've talked about Tyler Shuck a lot, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about Tyler Shuck because he is my favorite player in the NFL right now. That's not on the New York Jets, just because I was so high on him in the draft process. I wanted to put him above Shedeur Sanders, but I just couldn't. If you remember, a lot of you probably weren't here. We have a lot of new listeners since the draft process. And once we get to the NFL draft, I will be doing content leading up to the draft. And I think I'm actually going to go to Pittsburgh, boots on the ground, and film some content for the NFL draft this season. Either way, though, or come April. Either way, I was so high on Tyler Shuck. And I didn't like anything I saw on tape from Shedeur. Like, literally nothing. But it's just everybody had him as QB2. I'm like, he's got to be in my top 5. Like, I can't not. So I put him over Shuck. Dart was 2. Obviously, Cam Ward was 1. So I've been high on Tyler Shuck for a very, very long time. He came in and what did he come in against the Rams? And he came in against the Bucks, lost that game, lost against the Rams, beat the Panthers, lost against the Falcons, lost against the Dolphins, beat the Bucks, beat the Panthers. His stats, let's see what his stats are in his first 5 games as a starter. He has 1,400 yards and 6 passing, 2 rush. So 8 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,400 yards, completing 67% of his passes. Those numbers aren't jumping off the screen. And ironically enough, Spencer Rattler has a higher passer rating, higher completion percentage, more yards in one more game. But the eye test. Watch Tyler Shuck play. His pocket presence, his mobility, his size. And here's the thing. If nobody knew Tyler Shuck's age and you just scouted the prospect, that guy easily would have been a first-round pick last year. I think he would have went ahead of Jackson Dart. I think he could have even been a top 15 pick. If you watch his tape, look at his size, the archetype, the build, the the tools, all that stuff. I think he'd be the second quarterback in this year's draft if you didn't look at Tyler Shuck's age. Just the prospect, just the build, the size, the accuracy, the mobility in the pocket, the arm angles. He would go after Mendoza, and it depends if Dante Moore declares. I don't think he will, but he would be QB2 in this draft class, maybe even a top 10 pick if you didn't look at his age. But he fell victim to the ageism card. Obviously, you'd rather take a 23-year-old quarterback than a 27-year-old quarterback. But if you just looked at Tyler Shuck as the prospect, he easily would have been a first-round pick last year. I think he would have been a top 10 to 15 pick last year. He would easily be a first-round pick this year as well. He is a baller franchise quarterback, not pulling any more punches with Tyler Shuck. I love this dude. He's electric. He is electric. The thing is, though, he's already in his prime, 27 years old. Not ideal. Another hot take for you guys here. I don't have it. I feel like I don't have it today. My voice is fucked up. I can already tell. I don't know what's wrong with it, but the voice is not in a good spot right now. But we move here. We move forward. There's like a narrative going around that the NFC is clearly better than the AFC. And the more I sit on it, the more I think about it, the longer the season goes on, I'm thinking to myself, is that really true? Because when you look at the playoffs currently, the best quarterback in the playoffs is in the AFC. The two best defenses in the NFL are in the AFC. So what makes the NFC better? Why are we so sure to say that the winner, the Super Bowl champion, is going to come out of the NFC? Because after these injuries to Green Bay, the only team that I really, really trust out of the NFC right now is the Los Angeles Rams and maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, but they've had their woes offensively against some top tier opposition. I think outside of those two teams, do you trust Sam Darnold? Probably not. I don't trust this 49ers team because of their lack of a pass rush. And do we trust Brock Purdy in the playoffs? I think I do, but not as much as I trust a Matthew Stafford, a Josh Allen, this Texans defense, this Broncos defense, and et cetera. So when you look at I would argue 3 out of the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL playoffs are in the AFC. In Herbert, who hasn't proven it in the playoffs, so I'm talking pure talent. Allen, Drake. No, Jalen Hurts is better than Drake May. And Jalen Hurts is better than Drake May and Justin Herbert. Listen, the Justin Herbert Glazers. Listen, Max is a big Justin Herbert Glazer. I don't know if he's listening. That guy's done fuck all in this league. That guy, he threw for 5,000 yards a couple times. Cool. Justin Herbert has done fuck all. And we act like Justin Herbert hasn't had good teams around him as well. We act like that. And that is just patently false. He's had good defenses. He had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. He's had good teams. The offensive line this year obviously banged up. But to sit here and pretend like he hasn't had good teams. They're the number one scoring defense in the NFL last year. He just choked in the playoffs. Like Justin Herbert is a playoff choker. He was up 28-0, 28, whatever it was, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Didn't score more than a field goal. Like, he is a playoff choker. Nobody talks about it. I think Herbert will get better. Like, I'm not writing off Herbert at all. I have a take from a season ago that in the next 5 years, the Chargers will win the Super Bowl. I hope that comes true so I can dig that out and really victory lap it. But Justin Herbert makes bad decisions. Like, he's not a good decision maker. He just makes stupid decisions. And it costs his team often. Like Justin Herbert, top 5 quarterback shit I won't tolerate. And I was talking to Steelers fans, and obviously they hate Joe Burrow. But they're talking about, Herbert clears Burrow easily. Are we watching the same fucking game? Or do we watch the same game? Herbert's way closer to Jalen Hurts than he is Joe Burrow. I promise you that. I think Joe Burrow is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL right now, especially because of the way Lamar Jackson's been playing this season. Not ideal. Plus, Joe Burrow has had playoff success, even though the numbers won't necessarily indicate that. He's won in the playoffs. He beat the fuck out of Josh Allen in the playoffs. He beat the fuck out of Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. He's made it to a Super Bowl. He's played better against Mahomes and Allen than Lamar Jackson has. Like, I don't know how you can put Lamar over Burrow, especially with the way Lamar played this season. And Joe Burrow, outside of this one game, has looked pretty solid so far this season. So it's like, how on earth? Like my logic for putting Lamar ahead of Burrow was because Lamar has the rushing upside. He can use his legs. He hasn't been using his legs at the elite level. And you take that part of Lamar's game away, what does he do better than Joe Burrow? Absolutely fucking nothing. Not a singular thing. Not a singular thing other than run. So current quarterback rankings, the big four is the big four. I'm not changing that. Mahomes, Allen, Gap, Burrow, Gap, Lamar, Stafford, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, we're going to go Jaden Daniels still. I don't give a fuck. I'd not give a fuck. It's still Jaden Daniels. 7, we will go. Why is my gut going Jordan Love right now? Why are we going Jordan? I don't know. I think there's so many guys you can put in here. 7 Jalen Hurts. We're still going to give the Super Bowl MVP his respect. 8 Justin Herbert. 9 Jordan Love. 10 Dak Prescott. 11 CJ Stroud. 12 Baker Mayfield. 13 Jared Goff. 14 Bo Nix. 15, did I say CJ? I think I said CJ Stroud. 15 Sam Darnold. 15 Brock Purdy. 16 Sam Darnold. 17 probably Tyler Shuck. 18 Cam Ward. 19 Justin Fields. 20 Aaron Rodgers. 21 Tua. 22 Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is higher than 22, so we'll throw him in at 17 and then move everybody back a spot. 23 Phillip Rivers. 24 Daniel Jones. 25 JJ McDog shit. 26 Gardner Minshew. 27 Geno Smith. 28 Kenny Pickett. 29 Jacoby Brissett is higher than 29. So put Jacoby Brissett at 18, move everybody back a spot. 30, we're going to go with Brady Cook, obviously. 34, we're going to go with, I think Drake May can fit in at 34 now. I think that's where we'll put Drake. Good old 34 for Mr. May. I think that's about right. That fucking poser, fraud, scum that is Drake May with his, not gonna talk about his family. We'll keep it a little bit respectful here. And Michael May, shut the fuck up. Drake May. Shut the fuck up, you. Drake the schedule May. I like that nickname. Drake threw for 35 yards in the fourth quarter with the division on the line, May. Drake couldn't get a first down with 2 chances in the fourth quarter to go and take a lead against Josh Allen for the division, May. Drake never thrown for 300 yards in a game, May. Drake, the schedule, May. Fucking overrated. Drake, recency bias, May. Drake, not better than Bo Nix, May. Never mind Jaden Daniels. Drake, not better than Caleb Williams, May. Drake, the 4th best quarterback, maybe 5th in his class, May. Drake, not better than Michael Penn. Okay, we'll chill. It's just a good day to be a Drake May hater. Fernando Mendoza, another guy, better than Drake May. Okay, enough. But seriously, there's the narrative this season that the NFC is way stronger than the AFC. As we've gone into the season, I don't see it that way. When you have the 2 best defenses in the league in the AFC, the best quarterback in the playoffs is also going to be in the AFC. And then when you go quarterback for quarterback, the best quarterback in the NFC, Matthew Stafford. The best quarterback in the AFC, Josh Allen. The second best quarterback in the NFC playoff, probably Jalen Hurts. The second best quarterback in the AFC playoff, if you're talking playoff performance, it's probably CJ Stroud. So we'll probably take Jalen Hurts there. But I don't know. I think it's closer than a lot of people think. The depth of the NFC is better. But I think the AFC, like I said, 2 best defenses, best quarterback in the league are in the AFC. So let's not just overlook that conference. And the last hot take is I think Ohio State might go on a more dominant run this year than they did last year because of the blatant disrespect that was dished out to them at the Heisman ceremony. Julian Sand didn't have a single first place vote. I think Jeremiah Smith should have won the Heisman. Hot take. But he didn't even win the Biletnikoff. And now there's a narrative going around. I've seen this on Twitter. Caleb Downs has the best PR team in the league because he only had one pass or one interception, two pass breakups. You don't judge a defensive back based on the box score. You judge a defensive back with these two things that are located, that they are split by your nose and they're in between your ears. They're called your eyes. And anybody with eyes can see that Caleb Downs wasn't just the best defensive back in the country. He was maybe the best defensive player in the country. So get out of the box score, watch the football games, and the complete disrespect Ohio State has had to endure, like they didn't lose by one possession in the Big Ten championship game against the number one team in the country currently right now, is ridiculous. This is the same type of thing that happened last year with Michigan, and I would argue this team. I mean, this team's going to have more first rounders than that team did last year. So why this team might be better than the team that ran through the playoffs last year? Why can't they do it again? Why can't they do it again? I think the field is a little bit better. I think their hardest matchup will be Georgia. I think if they see Indiana in the in the Natty again, I think look out. I've also seen some things on some dark corners of Ohio State Twitter where it's like the offense looked vanilla. They didn't even put their best stuff on tape because they don't care about the Big Ten championship. Now, was that Ohio State fans coping? Absolutely. Could I potentially see a world where a little bit of that is true? Potentially. So I think Ohio State could honestly go on a more dominant run this year than last year. I wouldn't be surprised. I bet a future on them. They are my pick to win the national championship. But tune into tomorrow's episode where I'll go game by game breakdown of what I think is going to happen. Full college football playoff preview. Lock that in for tomorrow. I love you guys all. Thank you so much for listening. We have some stuff coming. I was talking to this guy that I met at House of Highlights. You should go check him out. DeAndre, I'm gonna get his actual handle up real quick so I can tell you guys to go shout it out. The guy that interviewed that Jets clip, the clip of the Jets fan. You guys obviously, it got sent to me a million times here. I'll play the clip for you. You guys definitely have seen it, but it got sent to me 10 million.
I get your thoughts on the game. I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
Yeah, that video has 30 million views on Instagram right now. Go follow him, DeAndre Mack. I was talking to him for a while today, and it was very helpful to talk to somebody that's been in the media space. And he does a lot of boots on the ground, post game interview with fans type of stuff. I want to dive into that world. I think I would thrive in that type of world, making that type of content. And I've also thought like that's a type of thing people don't do on podcasts. Like that's a YouTube video. What if I could incorporate that into my podcast? Like at the end of a podcast, be like, okay, now I'm just gonna go through like 10 minutes of just raw, unedited interviews with these fans post game. I think that could be a niche, unique thing that we haven't seen on podcaster spaces. Because you don't need to see the interview. You can just hear it and kind of get the gist. Obviously, the visuals help. Obviously, I would also post the visuals. But I think that could be a new area of this podcast that no other podcast has really explored. And that's the thing. You got to try and find new things. So we're going to try and do some more boots on the ground reporting. Hit the follow button because the more followers we get, the more I have opportunities to monetize. And TikTok needs to stop restricting my lives. Luckily my clips, my videos, or at least the podcast clips that aren't doing too great today. But the green screen videos that I posted on Sunday, the video I did about the Ohio State football, how they're getting there's the clip of Diego Pavia Mendoza getting all the media's around them sayings by himself. Like that clip did good. So that's been carrying the follower count recently. But the followers come from the lives, and TikTok's been absolutely bending me over and hosing me. So we need to rein it in there. TikTok, we need to figure it out. But go check out DeAndre Mack. He's a stud. I met him at the House of Highlights shoot. I can't wait for those videos to drop as well, man. I'm really excited to get some good clips out of there too. We got a lot of stuff coming, and we're getting really busy. College football playoff this weekend. NFL's heating up. We're going to have NFL playoffs soon, and then we'll have March Madness NBA content out the ass. I'm fired up. Happy Hot Take Tuesday. I love all you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of the Fire Sports Takes podcast.